how I'm going, and
There
not
are
just
20
talking.
seconds.
So if you've been paying attention to anything that I have been posting lately, you know that I have already said that I'm going to kick off my celebration for Black History Month this Friday morning. If things look a little dark right now, the lighting is not the greatest, but so this post has sort of a twofold purpose. So the title is RIP. One of our very special, those who are a fellow YouTube blogger. For those who are following me on YouTube and everywhere else, because this is HAP, so simulcasting pretty much all over the place. I'm available on YouTube, my Facebook page, Adams Rib Media Ministry, I believe, or personal. Um, I'm also on Twitter, on Twitch, and now available on TikTok when I go live from my computer. I'm also available on TikTok. So let me say this. So a fellow vlogger or YouTuber passed away. I just saw his posting. His brother went ahead and did a live session for his followers to talk about it. So, for those of you who are followers of Terry Swoope videos, he has lost his battle with life. Um, they are having his family. So, if you want to contact his family, his Gmail address, his email address is Terry Swoope, and that's SWOOPE at gmail.com. They're having a memorial service for him this coming Monday, the 30th. So if you want details or want to just share your prayers and thoughts with his family, or upload videos to send to his family, you can do it through that email address. I'm thinking about sending them a video myself. So when I saw that, even though I didn't really get to communicate with him often, I would comment on some of his posts and everything. He was, that was he, and there's another guy, Real Black. I don't follow everybody. Like, I follow a lot of people on YouTube, but most of the content creators that I follow are really good content creators. One thing I always liked about Mr. Swoop's videos is that he really seemed to be a man after the Black community. He, his brother talked about how in the early days he started off political, and then he began to do other content. Most of the content that I would see like beautiful Black women of the 70s, beautiful white women, but mainly Black women. He mainly was constantly up. I always saw nothing but positive things about the sisters. He was always talking about, he was always posting content that celebrated the goodness of the Black community, and especially Black women. He, I don't know what his personal taste was with women was when he wasn't online, but when he was online, it always was something positive to say about the Black community. You could tell he was a man of the community. He also did talk about, very thought provoking um, content. So I'm gonna read a little something from his YouTube page, in his about section. So the description for Terry Swoope's video. Terry Swoope was born December 13th, 1982. So he wasn't that old. I'm like, I look at this and I'm like, oh, he's only 38. Born 1982. They had a different year. listed on the memorial page. He's an American YouTube blogger, best known for his commentary where where are they now video documentary videos, because he did a lot of those updates on different people that were famous or where they. So he kind of semi T on some stuff, not tea like gossip, but more like where are they now or whatever happened to. So he did a lot of that type of content as well. Many of his videos also cover conscious social issues, and he received an additional boost of popularity when one industry publication noted that Swoop had six of the top 20 most important commentary videos of the year 2016. In early November 2017, Swoop's videos had accumulated 100 million views worldwide. As of December 2019, Terry Swoope's channel has over 400,000 subscribers. I'll be him when I grow up. And 100 million views, making him one of the most watched Black YouTubers in history. So it says here he was 38 years old. I don't know. African American, born in Akron, Ohio, which I thought was okay. No wonder I could jive with you. He's a deist, as far as his religious preference. And the Creator Awards, he won the YouTube Silver Play button for 100,000 subscribers. So if you follow this young man on YouTube, then um, do what you can to post, show him some love. Like I said, email the family at his email address, show them some love, let them know the brother has requested that if you can send some videos his way to let them know how much his content meant to you. It looks like his brother is going to go ahead and take over the channel and try to bring his own special sauce to it and at least complete the topics that his brother wanted to have done. But I'm like, I feel like you should do whatever you feel like the spirit is moving you to do. The reason I will be mentioning him on Friday morning and Friday night when I do the kickoff, but I wanted to do this one because I'm a YouTuber. Like, I know that some of y'all have just recently seen the news and seen where Cardi B won her lawsuit against another YouTuber who I have followed, and that was Tasha K. So I tell you what, it gets real out here in these streets when you have to talk about when I follow quite a few of the T YouTubers or whatever, mainly for, I guess you would say, shits and giggles or whatever, because I'm not a person that believes everything I read or everything that shows up. When it comes to YouTube, I'm very iffy about what I listen to and what I take what I with a grain of salt, because it is YouTube. Like I said, I have a YouTube channel, and there are people who are watching this who know me and probably watch me grow up. Now, most people belong in that category because we're human beings and all of that there. But YouTube is kind of one of those content things where you kind of have to watch where you get your news and your whatever from, because anybody can open up a YouTube account and decide to start videotaping themselves and blogging. So it's why you have to be very, very careful when you're talking about people's lives, when you're doing things. One of the things I liked about Terry Swoope's videos is they were always very positive. He did a lot of, like I said, where are they now? He also did videos celebrating the beauty of Black women at different in different time periods. He also talked about famous men from the 70s and everything. I just always liked his stuff because it took me back in time to the image of Black people that I remember and that I celebrate. You know, that feeling of feeling like we're in this thing called Black together and everything. So I just wanted to go ahead and single, upon hearing that he's passed, because that means we're not getting any more content. He was a very positive one. I like Real Black. I talked about that guy too, but they were just two brothers because one thing that is a real pet peeve of mine is to hear a Black man get on their public um, platform and dog the women who share their ethnicity. And I never and Mr. Swoop never did that. He never disrespected, at least not for me to hear it, because all I got to do is hear one negative thing, and I'm like, "Whoop, okay," because I'm not listening to that. I'm not about to let you put that in me. I'm not about to take that in. Okay. So he was one content. So his content meant a lot to me because it gives you hope. As a Black woman who is looking to be married sometime in the future, sometime in this lifetime, before I have one foot in the grave, would like to, want to meet a Boaz of my own. It always feels good to know that there's somebody else out there, because between the divestors, the Black women that have just completely wrote Black men off and have said bump it, and the Black men who have a negative viewpoint of Black women, like, when I hear people go, well, um, it's a myth of Black love. Black love is not a myth. I grew up with primarily Black couples that were married to one another, differing shades, different tastes, or whatever. But I grew up around a lot of married Black folks, and their marriages were not perfect. They went through some things and everything. So for me, it is not a myth. I can't help what everybody else done been through. And that's kind of one of the topics that I'm going to talk about um, this coming Black History Month. Now, I recognize that we probably should teach Black history all year round. I'm for having it be a regular part of a regular part of the curriculum in a school. I also believe, when our kids have to do book reports, being able to do book reports on things that are um, germane to us, But I also, and probably because I grew up with it, I also like having the month. I wish it wasn't February because it's the shortest month in the calendar, but I also like the thought of having a month, and there's at least 2 months that in Adams Rib Media Ministry are earmarked to celebrate Black history, and that's February and then June, which is Black Music Month. And so those, I also have other, I do women's, history. Um, I've been earmarking my calendar for to celebrate other groups, but because as you can see, I'm Black. Um, I definitely Black history will always have a special place in my heart. So, like I said before, if you're a follower of Mr. Swoop, um, the email address is Terry Swoope at gmail.com. Please do your level best. If you were ever a follower, if you weren't a follower of her, if you weren't a follower of his on YouTube, check out some of his videos. He had some really. I remember setting up watching the one that he did on. What was the name of that group? Was it Oasis? The group that had the song "Native New Yorker." He did a video on them, and he just went into, and the funny thing with his video, one of the things that his brother went into tonight is that he did them just like I'm doing this. Um, Other than me having to read the information off his YouTube page, but he basically had no notes. I was like, wow. I'm like, I still gotta have notes sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to you. He did all of his stuff with no notes. If you are a regular YouTube follower, Terry Swoope's videos is the name of the account. If you want to go on there and check out some of the content and see what made this man so fabulous as far as the type of content that he brought out, um, this is a real ministry. I'm not giving this up. This is a real ministry. Like, people are, taking part of their life and pouring into the content that we are bringing people, and different people have like different, I have my 7 blogs because those are interests of mine, but many people have like a lane that they do. This is what I'm doing. This is what they do it for. And it's not to be famous, which I'm not out to be famous either. I just really want to minister. But at the same time, many of them are on YouTube, and, are getting to the point where they're able to have their content monetized, which puts them under real strict standards and everything. But, you may think of it, well, that ain't no real job, but really it is. You know, just like, you look at your TV and look at the major networks and the work that has to go into bringing you your favorite TV shows and different other stuff like that. Podcasting, even the little bit of podcasting that I do, podcasting and doing all of that stuff too, and coming before you, like, even though, YouTube is what you make of it. Okay, even though the bloggers are on a little bit of a smaller scale than your major networks, there's a lot of research that goes into bringing all of this stuff and making it interesting. And that's what Mr. Swoop did. I mean, he was good. He was excellent. And as I said before, I loved following him because I never had to hear him say nothing negative about black women. He truly felt you truly got the idea that he felt like black women were queens. If he called a black woman a queen, I usually don't get into the whole queen king thing. I have my own little thoughts about some of that mess. But if he called a black woman a queen, I believed it because I felt like he truly did see us as queens. So you guys enjoy your evening. I will, it's Wednesday night. You enjoy your evening. I will see you guys Friday morning, and I will see you guys again Friday night. Um, I have other people because it seemed like my list of people that I'm remembering that are passing is growing. Um, I've got an outline for that. So I will talk to you guys then. As I said before, if you're a follower of Mr. Swoops, try your level best to show up on his channel and leave, some love. Better yet, use the email address and show some love there as well. Um, I will see you guys Friday morning. You have a good one. Be blessed.